How's it going, guys? Randall, aka Shizukatz here on the Tressa Collectibles channel, and today we're going to be bringing you guys a special product opening featuring the newly released Hololive Premium Booster, or rather the newly pre-released, I suppose. So this is a product that we have seen and we have also featured on the channel in its Japanese form, but the English version was also announced recently. It'll be having a full release on September 30th, 2022, later this year. And in the meantime, we have had a pre-release of sorts where this product was available at Anime Expo over here in Southern California just this past week. So we do have a couple boxes for you guys. If you guys are wondering on how you can get some of these premium booster boxes, they will also be available at Gen Con Indy at the start of August, so August 4th to August 7th. And they're also going to be doing the online Bushiroad store pre-orders for this as well. But yeah, the full release is not until the end of September. So even if you guys aren't able to get some of the pre-release dates like at Gen Con, definitely look forward to the full release. Now, as far as the contents of these Super Expo 2022 Premium Booster boxes, they do feature all of the members of Hololive, so that includes all of the members that we've seen up to this point in the Hololive Booster Pack, so from generations 0 up to 5th, including gamers. But we are also adding the 6th generation, as well as all of the members of Holo EN and Holo Indonesia, and that includes both the Holo Myth as well as the Holo Council branches. So if you have been looking forward to getting some of your favorite Holo EN or Holo Indonesia members in their card form, don't worry, we have got you guys covered with this premium booster right here. So we're going to be opening 2 of these premium booster boxes today. As far as the contents of each box, they come with 6 packs apiece, and each pack only comes with 4 cards, but it's going to be 3 non-foil cards and 1 guaranteed foil HLP rarity card in every single pack. And of course, we do have the chance to pull some beautiful SP cards, so hopefully we can pull some of those and show you guys what those look like, because they honestly just look absolutely fantastic. And of course, before we get to the opening, I'm sure you guys are curious to know about the lovely playmat we have right here. This is not a Bushiroad playmat like what we usually use on our product opening videos. This is actually an official Holo EN merch playmat. So unfortunately, not able to get this in the same way like you would with all of our other Bushiroad official playmats. But we figured that since we have this beautiful playmat and we're going to be opening some packs and hopefully pulling some Holo Myth members, you guys can enjoy this beautiful playmat as we get into our opening. So without further ado, let's get right into the opening with our 2 boxes of Premium Booster. All right, guys, let's get right into our first box. So as we said before, each of these booster packs comes with, or each of these booster boxes rather, comes with 6 booster packs of 4 cards apiece. So in total, you're going to be getting 24 cards total, 18 of which will be non-foil, and 6 of which will be foil cards. So let's get right into our first box as we have that 6th pack just chilling in the box still. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So the really cool thing about the foils in this booster is that they are all extremely beautiful foil pattern as far as what the cards look like. And on each of the HLPs, you will see that they have the customized Oshi marks for each of the individual Hololive girls. So hopefully we'll get to take a look at some really nice ones that you guys will recognize. So let's take a look at the cards. So each member has exactly 1 card. So for example, this Watame is going to be the only Watame available. And I believe there's a total of 53 different cards. Yeah, there are 53 different cards. All of them can come non-foil and foil as well as SP. So first we have the Watame 1/1 counter. Very cute. 1/1 as she holds up the 1/1 fingers as well. We have level 0 Botan. Go, and then we have the first of the 6th generation characters. So we have Iroha, and this is actually a drop search, adding to the long list of drop searches that Hololive already has, but has an additional effect where on attack you can look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck and rearrange them. So this could be useful for securing certain triggers or making sure that you're not triggering climax on your last attack, things like that. Some of these cards in this premium booster are not the most competitive, or sometimes they're even just reprints of cards that already exist in the Hololive booster pack. But definitely from a collector standpoint, just all the cards really look absolutely gorgeous, and just regardless of what they do as cards, they are definitely great collector's items. And now let's get on to our first HLP. These look just absolutely beautiful. So our first HLP of the box is the level 0 Lamy. And if you can, not quite sure if you can see, but her Oshi mark, you can see it here as well as here. So Lamy's is a snowflake. Very beautiful first HLP. And there's only more where that came from. So let's go ahead and get right into our next pack. So here we have Sana from Hollow Council. Just a pretty normal 11-5 healer. Go ahead and put all our non-photos over here so you guys can just keep watch of those. We have the level 1 Mio. This is actually a card that saw quite a bit of play in JP. She is a 1k global to all of your characters during your turn, and when you play a climax you can give 1k power as well. So being able to boost certain cards such as the Luna level 1 that allows you to, when your other character is front attacked, you can sack the Luna to bounce back the character being front attacked. Cards like that that need to stay alive on the offense in order to utilize abilities on the defense. This Mio is very useful in combination with cards like that. We have the level 1 Shion. This actually has a synergy with a level 1 Aqua, which is a pretty funny meme card, which hopefully we'll get to take a look at later. So we have the Shion, and for our second HLP, we have Ina. And this is a very, very playable card. It actually has the same set of abilities as the Roman level 0, the Roman Torchwick from Ruby, which is a pretty useful card as well. And so we can go ahead and take a look at Ina real quick. Very nice. And then here's Ina's back, Kappa. All right, on to our third pack. We have Koyori. This is actually a pretty interesting card, as we're not sure why, but this card doesn't have the power level that it's supposed to have, I guess. So between the two effects, the climax swap and getting +1 soul in center stage, normally this pairing of abilities would be 2,000 power, but for whatever reason, Koyori is only 1,500. Here we have Roboko. It's actually another very playable card with the On Death Rize ability. IMA, with the ability to clone herself, summoning another copy of herself from the deck. And we have Matsuri. This is a early play clock encore profile. Very interesting set of effects. Not the kind of card that usually sees a lot of play, but I mean, when it comes to HLPs, these are definitely going to have a lot of value to people who are just fans of Matsuri, as these cards are just all very beautiful. All right, on to the next one. We have a Suisei. This is a on play, draw 1, gain 2k, and then on attack you can pay 1, discard 1 on reverse to deal 1 damage to your opponent. So if you're looking for an off climax finisher, maybe look into playing the Suisei, especially if Suisei is one of your favorites. We have the Korone. She is an on reverse coin flip, so when she gets reversed, you get to reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's level 2 or higher, you get to rest her, so she can save herself to go in for another attack. We have the level 1 Luna, following the tradition of Luna cards all being level 0 characters while on the stage, because she is 0 years old. and she has an on-attack buff ability that gets to buff one of your other characters 1,000 times its soul. And we have Fauna, another member of EN Council, the Holo Council. So we have already pulled the Iroha and the Sana, and now we have the Fauna level 1. Alright, 2 packs left to go in the first box. So as far as the cards that players are chasing mostly for their competitive viability, the number 1 card is definitely going to be the level 0 La Plus, which hopefully we can pull. That card actually has the same set of effects as the level 0 Aqua, the Yamada Hermione, which is a very, very popular card in competitive Hololive decks. So being able to potentially run more than 4 copies of cards with that effect, or if you just want to switch up the color, is what makes that La Plus very, very playable. So here we have Reine. I think this is actually the first Holo ID card that we've pulled. So go ahead and right there we have Choco Sensei, which is a tap self salvage brainstorm. Very, very playable card. We have Sora, who is a free runner, and for our HLP, we have the level 0 Bay. So this is actually another very, very playable card if you're looking for competitive viability. She has the ability where on play from hand or on death, you can discard a card, or you can pay 1 and discard a Hololive character to look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, add any of them to your hand, and send the rest to waiting room. So this allows you to just get double value out of a single card, and her ability activating on death can also be extremely useful with cards like the Marine level 3, who has to sacrifice a character in order to use her ability. So you can sacrifice the Bay to use Marine, and then follow up by using Bay's effect afterwards. If the Marine didn't get you the cards that you need, you can use Bay's effect to search even further through your deck. All right, for our last pack of the second box, or of the first box, we have Flare. We have Melfissa, Anya Melfissa. We have Okayu, level 3. And for our last HLP, we have Louis from the 6th Gen JP. This is actually another really good card, allowing you to bounce one of your opponent's characters when she's placed. So if your opponent has any pesky characters on stage that you want to get rid of, or if you want to avoid the potential threat of things like a high impact counter, like a money counter or rest counter, you can go ahead and get rid of your opponent's characters. And in addition, she has an act ability where you can pay 1, pump one of your characters plus 1 soul. This is a pairing of abilities that's quite similar to the Gazelle that we've seen in some of these strong Tensura builds. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, as he also has a pairing of abilities to bounce as well as pump soul. Alright, so let's go ahead and just take a look at our beautiful HLP cards real quick. So far we pulled Lamy, Ina, Matsuri, Fauna, Bay, and Louis. And we will get cracking right into our second box. Alright guys, it's time for box number 2. So we didn't pull an SP in our first box. In JP, at least, the rate of SPs per booster case was 3 SPs for every case of 30 of these premium booster boxes. Now, at the Anime Expo event, you were capped at 6 of these boxes per customer. So realistically, we don't have a great idea of whether or not that 3 SP per 30 box case ratio is still the same in English, but just know that we do have that JP precedence that is fairly likely to be what ends up happening for the English version as well. So let's go ahead and get cracking on the first pack for our second box. Come on, let's get this thing open. Work with me here. Now for the SP designs, if you guys see on these HLPs, they have this diamond in the background on all of these, diamonds of different colors depending on the character. And on the SPs, the bordering on these diamonds is also foil, similar to how like the edges are foil. But there's also this big text that says like Hololive Super Expo on the middle of the card. And unlike the JP version where the SPs were, the text for Hololive was printed in gold, in the English edition, that text is actually printed in silver. So bit of a change up between the two languages. All right, so moving on to our first pack, we have Fubuki. We have our first dupe, I think, which is the second copy of the level 0 Ina. We have the Chloe Sakamata level 0 spammable brainstorm, something that I was actually not really so much like complaining about, but something that I noted from the Hololive booster pack that we already have is that it didn't have any spammable brainstorms. It had like 15 tap self brainstorms or something like that, but no spammables. And so spammable was something that I was kind of hoping would come out of this pack, and we actually have two. We have this Chloe, which is a spammable salvage discard brainstorm, who also gives front 500, and we have the level 0 Rhodesia brainstorm. Rhodesia still being a part of the premium booster pack, as this was printed before you know what. But both of those cards very, very useful in their own way. Being able to spammable brainstorm and go through the deck very quickly is a very, very powerful thing in certain decks. And Chloe, just a really good card that gets the job done. And of course, Chloe being a very, very popular Hololive member as well, you're going to have a lot of people looking out for this card. And for our first HLP of the second box, we have the level 1 Kanata. So something you guys might notice is that this Kanata is actually a yellow card, whereas all of the cards in the original Hololive products were green cards. And we don't have an exact reasoning on this, but the theory that some of my friends, myself, have is that because Coco is not included, Kiryu Coco is not included in the premium booster because of her graduation, they shifted the color of Kanata to yellow, so that in Gen 4, we now have two yellow members, those being Kanata and Watame, while the other two members of Gen 4, the other two remaining members that is, those being Toa and Luna, are the green characters. Otherwise, there would be a pretty big color imbalance with Watame being the only yellow character. All right. Get into the next pack. We have another Korone, another Okayu. Korone and Okayu always sticking together. We have another Bei. And for our HLP, we have the level 0 ASCII. So ASCII, another Hololive member that is new to the Weiss Schwarz set, since she was not featured in the original Hololive booster. But she does have a very interesting effect where if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, she gets +1 level and +700 power. So obviously not a number that you usually see in Weiss Schwarz. Usually it's just multiples of 500 power. But from what I've heard, at least, this is a reference to some 700 yen water bottles at one of her events. So a little bit of ASCII lore that I myself was taught that I can now share with you guys. And she has an on-play effect where when she's placed on stage, you can discard a card, you can take a Hololive 0 Gen character, or you can take a Hololive 0 Gen event, so the event from the trial deck, or any Hololive character from your clock, put it in your hand and collect the top card of your deck. So allowing you to filter cards out of your hand, maybe grab a card that you need from clock. We have another Flare, another Anya, we have a Polka. So funny thing about this card is that, so this is a drop search that also gains 2,000 power while in the front row center slot. And for those of you who have been going to your Hololive events recently at your local shops, you guys probably recognize this pairing of effects because it's on every single promo card from the English promo packs, the ones that have all of the members of Holo EN and Holo ID. Every single card from that is a 3,500 drop search while in center slot. And when they revealed those, we thought it was really funny that Polka, who had this effect all to herself, it was a brand new effect, and then suddenly all these other cards just all have that effect. So pretty funny for Polka that she has to share this effect with all the others, but yeah, pretty good effect. Now you have the option to use any of those promo cards or the Polka if you want a 3,500 in center slot drop search. And for our HLP, we have Ayame. Very pretty, just like all the rest. Alright, we're halfway through our second box. Come on, SP. I believe, guys. Do you believe that we can pull an SP? Right, we have another Sana. We have Gura, 3k assist to level 2, sorry, what did I say? Level 3 or higher, 2k assist, and also she has an ability where you can rest her to draw a card and discard a card. This is a pair of abilities that we've seen on the Shizu assist from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. But, you know, there's a lot of Gura fans that are just going to want to pick up Gura cards just because it's Gura. Can't blame me for that. Represent your favorite characters. We have a Subaru, level 0 stock bomb, and also an anti-runner. And for our HLP, we have Choco Sensei, the brainstorm that we've pulled earlier. Couple packs to go. We'll go ahead and do a quick recap once we have pulled everything. Here we have Iris. She's a 2/2 standby target, being a 10/5 max, and it's basically the same card as the 2/2 Elizabeth from Sword Art Online, for those of you who are familiar with that card. That was a very powerful, useful standby target in Sword Art Online, in those AvatarNet standby decks, and it's a very powerful profile on this Iris as well. We have Irani EO15. She is both a anti-change clock bomb as well as a 2500 backup. So you can use her either in your hand or on the board. We have Noelle, another drop search, as well as on play pay to choose one of your opponent's characters and move it to an empty slot on stage. So a lot of English players know this as the grappling hook effect after the Batman grappling hook from Batman Ninja. So another useful utility card. You can get that drop search utility on top of a secondary effect. And for our HLP, we have the Watame. And for our very last pack, let's see if we can pull an SP out of this one, guys. Just one pack left to go. We gotta work that one pack magic. All right, so we have Muna from Holo ID First Gen. She has front 500 and an ability where when you trigger a climax, you can discard a climax to look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, pick one of them, add it to your hand, send the rest to waiting room. This is a very useful profile when you're playing a climax lineup such as a gold bar climax or a pants climax, as it allows you to trigger the climax and then immediately get it out of your hand and filter it into something else. This is something that we've seen in the Hololive booster pack on a level 0 Choco. And so you have the choice between either of these two if you want to run that sort of climax lineup. We have the Kiara 1/1, a hand encore that gets bigger every time your other Hololive character attacks. We have another copy of the Matsuri that we pulled earlier. And for our last foil, can we pull an SP? It doesn't look like it, unfortunately. And I think this is Iroha? It is Iroha. So there we go for our HLPs. For the second box, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the Oshi marks that we have on each of these. So earlier we looked at the Lammy. She has these snowflakes. I'm not super familiar with all of the members of Hololive. I don't actually really watch any Hololive myself, but I have a lot of friends that are really into a lot of these Hololive characters, and so they share with me the information so that I'm just in the know and things like that. So for the Ina, we have a tentacle here. For her Oshi mark, makes a lot of sense. You gotta have gotta represent the Takodachis. For Matsuri, we have a lantern, I believe. That's what me and some of my friends was basically the best thing that we could come up with, as it fits, a lantern fits her name, basically being like, you know, summer festival. You have those lanterns in summer festivals. We have Fauna, very self-explanatory with her name. We have the plants, the fauna, as her name would imply. For Bei, we have the dice. We have the dice for Bale's card. For Louis, we have this beautiful rose. I know some of these might be hard to see. It's kind of hard to know where the good angle of light is. So if this ends up being not super great on camera, I'll be sure to include some better pictures or maybe a short video clip of each of these in post-production so you guys can really get a good look at these. Kanata, we have the star. It's the same pattern as her headpiece, the 4-pointed star. For Aski, I'm actually not totally sure what the lore on this one is, but it looks like hammer and like a sickle maybe. I've definitely seen some jokes about what her Oshi mark is, but I'm not totally sure what it is myself, to be completely honest. Here we have Ayame's, we have the like Oni Flame. Choco Sensei, we have the heart with the bat wings, definitely fitting of Choco's like succubus, like the heart with the bat wings, definitely very like seductress sort of theme. For Iroha, we have the leaf, goes with her samurai style Degozaru, and then for Watame, of course, it wouldn't be a Watame card without the sheep mark. So there's definitely lots of really, really great Oshi marks on some of the other cards that we did not pull. Some of the ones that pretty much exactly what you would expect. So like Suisei's is a comet, or ones like Kali, Mori, Calliope, she has a skull as her Oshi mark. And unfortunately, between these two boxes, we're not able to pull every single member of Hololive. We're only getting 48 cards between these two boxes, and so even if we didn't pull any duplicates, there's 53 different cards that you can pull. So unfortunately, we're not able to show you guys every single cool card that was in this. So a couple of the other ones that we didn't pull that I would have liked to show you guys. The Aqua that we did mention earlier that has a synergy with the Shion, because that card has a really great meme with its power being 4450 power. For those of you who are in the know on the Aqua's weight joke, 44.5 kilograms. And then some other really competent cards in competitive viability as well, such as the Mori Calliope level 3, which has the Musashi effect. That's definitely a card that you could look to include in your competitive builds of Hololive. So there's a little bit for everything here. You have just these beautiful HLPs, very appealing to collectors. You have the competitive viability as well among some of these cards, and it's basically just a product for all Hololive fans. Whether you want to come into it as a player or just as a collector, you can just go ahead and pick this up, and you're pretty much guaranteed to pull some cards that you can just look at and enjoy and just admire. And yeah, that's pretty much just what this premium booster is all about. Just having some really nice cards featuring some of your favorite VTubers. So that concludes our premium booster opening in English. If you guys want some more premium booster opening, we're going to leave a link down in the description of an opening that Mike has previously done on his live stream, where he opened the Japanese version of the Hololive premium booster. So you guys can go check that out as well. And also, we're going to be leaving another link to an opening that Simu did on his own channel, Chairman TCG, where he also opened some of the Hololive Premium Booster. Maybe a little bit more Hololive Premium Booster than he intended to open when he first started. But yeah, that concludes our box opening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave any questions you have down in the comments section below. And until next time, this has been Randall, aka Shizukatz, on the Tressa's Collectibles channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!